Hello and welcome back to Karsten Uncut. Today from the beautiful scenery here on Table Mountain in Cape Town, South Africa. My topic for today is 50 Shades of No. Have you ever said no? And when you say no, how do you say no? And I think everybody thinks, oh, that's easy. Well, actually, I see that most of the times people have real difficulties to say no. And why is that? Well, most of the times because they are afraid, right? When you say no, what might happen? Well, they not talk to us ever again. Maybe I just closed the door that I wanted to have open. And that's not exactly what it should be about. It should be about saying no to something that you cannot do and do not want to do. Typically, you should not want to do it and then cannot do it, right? That should be a little bit of a combination of both. But there's 50 shades of doing it. Because when you just say a hard no or the binary no, nope, I can't do this and you cannot have that, well, then the conversation most likely is over. But also on the other side, it might open another door. You do not know beforehand, most of the times. That's why it's super important to always read what is on the other side of the table and what is their interest. What exactly do they want to achieve? So an example of 50 Shades of No is when I was once in a negotiation, I got the whole list of requests. I want this, and the other thing as well. And of course you have to do this as well, because otherwise I'm not even going to talk to you. And I stopped the conversation for a few moments, thought about it and said, well, I'm not going to say yes to any of the things that you said, but I'm also not going to say no right now. But what I'm going to say to you is, I want to understand, why do you want A? And if you tell me why you want A, you can say, just because I want it, well, that's not necessarily helpful for me to understand. But if you tell me why you want A and what you want to achieve with A, you give me a chance to give you options. And maybe that option that I can have is even better what you thought about. So let's try to walk that path together. You see, I didn't say yes, and I said actually no to something. But I said it with a shade that allowed us to have a further conversation and to move further on. On the other side, I think it makes also a lot of sense sometimes to just stop, right? When things get out of hand, when it's out of band and you can really feel that you are not having control anymore of what you're doing, put a stop into it. A hard no can be sometimes also very valuable. I was in another conversation the other day where we said, hey, I'm getting a little bit of a fuzzy answer. I don't know if I have a yes or if I have a no. Well, with that, I cannot really work. How can I solve something if I don't know what I'm really solving? Right? So a binary no can also be sometimes very, very helpful. It really depends on the situation. And that's why I always say there is 50 shades of no, and you just have to pick the one that is the right one for you. I really hope that this one helps you, and think about it. There's not just one answer to a question, there can be multiple. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you back on Karsten Uncut very soon.